Hello, everybody. Welcome to the LFC Transfer Room watch along with myself, Louis Felt. Today is the ultimate Champions League game. AC Milan at home to the Redmen, to Liverpool. Ultimately, this might be our most worthless game of the season, you could say. But still, we're going to have a good time. We've got Nat Phillips back in the lineup, and I will go through that. We've got Nat Phillips and Tyler Morton starting, so we'll keep a close eye on them. I've also got a couple of other games up on screens in front of me. So regardless of what happens today, we'll make it an interesting one. So for Liverpool, just before they kick off, Alisson is in goal, Nico Williams, Kanate, Nat Phillips, and Samikas make up the back four. The midfield, an area for concern if you're really bothered. Got Oxlade-Chamberlain, Tyler Morton, and Takumi Minamino. So that's the first time in a while that Minamino starts in the midfield. We'll see how he fares. And up front, he's gone for it and he's risked Salah and Mane to play either side of Divock Origi. So plenty to unpack there, really. As I said, the midfield is certainly an area. If you're looking at this game, we want to win every game. In that sense, the midfield does fill me with some element of dread. I don't doubt the individual talents of either of those three, especially Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's been somewhat of a man transformed in the last few games. Having a player like Tyler Morton, it worked when he had Fabinho and Thiago next to him at different points, when he had these world-class players who could take the pressure off him whenever they needed to. The likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain and Minamino, they're good players, and I really hope they do well today. But they're not the kind of ones who can, for me at least, and we'll find out, guide a young player like that through a game. They'll need to be focusing on their own thing, supporting the likes of Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, trying to work the ball forward. They're not really going to be focusing too much on trying to look after him. And we don't have Virgil van Dijk behind him either. Nat Phillips comes in for one of his rare appearances this season, which is sad on its own. The players just lining up here for the beginning of the match. And the wonderful chimes of the Champions League get underway. Always gets the blood pumping, even when the game is meaningless. The other game, Porto versus Atletico. The interesting thing in this group is that anyone can go through still at this point. So I'm hoping it's not Atletico. So they need Porto to win. We need Porto to win because I don't want to drop points. You know, if we win this game, first team in history to get 6 out of 6. First English team in Champions League history to get 6 out of 6. And that's what I want to do. We've got to set the standards. As I've said in the previous stream, there are levels to this game, and we've got to be up there. Ibrahimovic is back for AC Milan. He missed the first leg or the first group game against Liverpool, but he is back, so I'm sure he'll be a thorn in the side. And it'll be interesting to see how Kanate and Nat Phillips set up to defend against AC Milan's front three, including the big man. Be underway very, very shortly, so I'll let you know in terms of lining up your games. If you do want to keep up minute by minute, keep live with me. But yeah, the other game I've got on is the Real Madrid Inter Milan game. So, you know, you just don't know. This game is a dead rubber, and it could be a bit of a snore fest unless, you know, Milan are really up for it, kind of thing. Which, in fairness, they should be. They do need to win. So we live in hope that they will put in a performance that can bring out something from us. Maybe a Tyler Morton hat-trick. Maybe a Nat Phillips diving header. Who knows? So it will be the standard 4-3-3. So it's an all changed back four from the Wolves game. Nico Williams back again. Hasn't hasn't stood out too much to me in the few games that he has started this season. Tsimikas, on the other hand, is looking very, very bright. Although I think this is the first time he's played since Klopp came out and reaffirmed that Robertson was his first choice, which I felt was a bit unfair to kind of publicly state, especially with the level of performances that Tsimikas was putting in. It would be, if I was him, it would be a bit of a downer to hear that all my hard work didn't mean much. But hey, the players take the knee before kickoff, and hopefully that's well received. Can't hear too much. But here we go. If you want to line up your streams, and here we go. We are away. The final game in this year's Champions League group stages. Liverpool clear at the top. We've won it through to the final 16 in the slightly better category. So hopefully we'll get a favourable last 16 draw. But let's hope for a good performance. As I said, the other game I've got on. So if you see me doing that, down here, I've got Real Madrid into Milan. Up here, it's Milan, Liverpool. Okay. So how are we all? How are we all doing? If anyone would like to have a little chat, ask a few questions, I'd be more than happy to oblige by that. Let's have a look. Oh, Josh is back. Hello. Yeah, it's a shame Chelsea aren't on, because otherwise I would have had them on as the other game, and we could have kept up to date with that. I can't remember who you're playing. If the end of the world comes, I want Louis to narrate it. He'll keep me calm as ever. Thanks, Dan. Yeah. For fuck's sake. How you doing, Dan? Are you watching the game at the minute? It will be interesting to see, because obviously we're qualified, so we've got nothing to play for really, apart from making history to an extent. But then on the other hand, we've got a lot of players here on the fringes, and the Liverpool fringes is an interesting place. I think it's an interesting place because our starting 11 is quite solidified, and the only way you really get in there into Klopp's plans is if there's an injury crisis. You know, Ox wouldn't have had those run of games if it wasn't for the somewhat depleted nature of our midfield. So whilst they'll be eager to impress, there's still a level of, well, doesn't matter. Even if I get a hat trick, I'll most likely be on the bench. That's all right, Dan. So what time is it? What time is it your end? Are you 5 hours behind or in front? No, you must be behind if you're at work. Well, I hope it all goes well. Hope you have a lovely day. And thanks for stopping by. Salah tries to work it through to Mane in the box, but it does get intercepted. And a few passes later, it's back with Phillips. He plays it to the goalkeeper. Tyler Morton getting a few touches on the ball in these opening minutes here. I think he is playing in the centre of that midfield three. It shows a lot of faith from Klopp. For anyone watching, I'd like to know your thoughts on Tyler Morton, because I can't lie, I didn't know too much about him coming into this season. Williams gets his shot away, but it's straight down the throat of the Milan goalkeeper. Tyler Morton, didn't know much about him coming into this season. Obviously, he's had a few starts now in the league and, excuse me, the second start in the Champions League, which is a big deal, I think. I was saying we've had other false dawns, I suppose, of youth players. Alexander-Arnold really being the main outlier to that. We've had Ben Woodburn, Jordan Rossiter. Does anyone remember Jordan Rossiter? He was the next Gerrard when he started in the League Cup, I think. Ben Woodburn got his goal in the League Cup as well. Was that against Leeds, I think? That was a nice moment, and I think everyone thought, here we go, Woodburn ball incoming, but wasn't quite to be, and he's not really had much of a sniff since then, which is a shame. But yeah, I don't know. What are people's thoughts on Tyler Morton? Is he another false dawn, or do you think he's the real deal? Because I mean, I think he's looked for a youth player coming into games like this really good. But if we're just talking about, you know, equaling it out and pretending that he's not a youth player who's making his first ever start, he's playing fine. Like, he hasn't done particularly much to stand out. I think in the first couple of games he looked really, really good at ball retention and turning out danger. Didn't quite see it as much in the previous in the Champions League game that he started in before this against Porto. Didn't see that quite as much, but it's a lot different to the Premier League. And what are you thinking? Tough game. Score prediction. Yeah, we won't run away with this one because Milan need to win. We don't particularly. I think I'd say 2-1. 2-1 to Liverpool. It'll be tough. I imagine it'll be tough watching. 5 minutes gone. Neither team's particularly settled so far. So we'll see who can sort of take the upper hand in these early stages. Samika's just won the ball back well. He's received it back from Alisson. Plays it into the middle of the park and is given away, but they can't make anything of it. And the ball returns to Alisson. Has anyone here ever tried football commentary before? Because I think a lot of us think it's probably a really easy way to earn your money. But it's difficult. It's difficult. I was a couple of years ago, before COVID, I was on a live stream with. Well, we didn't actually. Sorry, it wasn't a live stream. We were like demoing what a live stream could look like, and I was with this guy who was a proper broadcaster. I think he was with Sky Sports, just like proper lower league games. Literally, just any commentary they'd need if they were showing highlights on air or something like that. So you wouldn't have heard of him necessarily, but he was doing. It was us two doing the stream and pretending that we were live. Kind of back and forthing it. We had a few topics lined up throughout the game to discuss, and he would keep interjecting with commentary whenever it looked like things were spicing up a little bit. And it's tough. By watching him warming out, I don't know how they keep talking as rapidly as they do and on their feet as well. They don't know where the ball's going to go, and they've got to follow it. They've got to memorize the players, which I wouldn't be any good at. I won't remember half these AC Milan players' names or where they're meant to be on the pitch or what they look like. So don't expect anything like that. But no, commentary, I'll give my hands off. It's a difficult thing, and it is knackering. I did the Everton game last Wednesday, and I was buggered after that. Absolutely buggered. My throat went. It went. I was out for the season, but we move. Don't think anything's happened in the Real Madrid game either. I'll have a look at some of the other scores. Ajax have taken the lead against Sporting. Dortmund and Besiktas is currently still 0-0. The other group game, Porto Atletico, is 0-0. I can't remember the league table. Can't remember who goes where. If it finished 0-0, I don't think Atletico go through. So fingers crossed. Does anyone else have any other? Do they have another team they'd rather get dumped out than Atletico? If you could have one player from AC Milan in your starting 11, who would it be? Let's have a little looky. Let's have a little looky. I mean, first things first, I wouldn't have Ibrahimovic. Goes without saying. Brilliant goal scorer, but absolutely not the kind of thing that we need. Theo Hernandez is probably the obvious choice, but you can only have so many world-class left-backs. And we've got two of them. We've got two world-class left-backs. I don't really fancy another one. Now, tomorrow. Last season, I would have said yes. But this season, if Matt Phillips can struggle to get a game, this is his first competitive start this season, then I don't think we need anyone else. Kessie's another good shout. I've seen him a few times and been encouraged by it, but I won't put my neck out and say that I'm an expert on Kessie. If you do know a little bit more about him or why you think he'd be a good fit, and I'm more than happy to listen to that. So we're in the first 10 minutes just gone now, and it's currently Milan 0, Liverpool 3. Again, neither team particularly taken control. The game hasn't lit up yet, but that's nothing more than really what we thought at this point. Smikas does make me laugh sometimes. He's obviously picked up that title of the Greek Scouser, and I can see why, and I do appreciate it. He is a battler. He's a little warrior. Sometimes not always for the best, though. He can give away a sloppy free kick, or sometimes he just seems to put himself in situations he doesn't need to, and then has to fight his way out. And if he did that for Man United, the way they were playing under Ollie, then it would have been quite banterous. He would have been quite a banter player, but luckily he's able to do it, surrounded by other world-class players in a winning team. So it kind of gets overlooked. I don't think I'm being too harsh there. I think if you look at it, he does seem to put himself into positions where he's then got to fight his way out, and it just can look a little bit childish. Divock Origi involved in a bit of a kerfuffle there. And already the managers are at it. Could that be the impetus Liverpool need to strike out in this game at last? It happened against Arsenal in a must-win Premier League game. Can it happen again in a dead rubber Champions League game? We'll find out. The game hasn't gone back underway yet. It looks like AC Milan might need to make a substitution. Inter Milan just missed a big chance by the look of it. Still 0-0 in that game as well. I was hoping for goals galore. The only goal in the 8 o'clock kickoff so far does come from Ajax. Is it Haller? Is it Sebastian Haller? Oh my God. Sebastian Haller penalty. Sebastian Haller for the Ballon d'Or. Confirmed. Unbelievable. I don't know. I keep on picking up my phone. But do Ajax play with 2 up top? No, it looks like he's up there on his own. It's a mystery. It's an absolute mystery how he can be such a baller in the Champions League, and when he was at West Ham, just such a flop. People said it was because he needs to be in a partnership up top, and that's not what he could get at West Ham under David Moyes. That wasn't the kind of football they were looking to play. But he's moved to Ajax, and I might be entirely wrong, but they're not playing two up front. It is just him, and he's smashing him in for fun. Albeit that one was from a penalty, but I called it. I saw it was 1-0. I knew it was Haller. It's a poor cross there from Tsimikas, and that's out for a goal kick. 15 minutes played. Currently 0-0. If you so happen to be watching on the LFC Transfer Room Twitter page, do come over to the YouTube channel where you can join in the comments, get your questions or just general thoughts on the game in. Give us a like and a subscribe. Help to grow the lovely little community that we've got here for all of your reliable Liverpool transfer news, as well as pre and post match reaction, and of course other watch-alongs just like this one. Obviously, we had the Wolves game on the weekend. That was with Jack and Tao, and that was something else. I didn't even get to watch it. I went to see, because my dad had tickets, I went to watch Chelsea versus West Ham in Stratford at the London Stadium. And that was a phenomenal game of football. Luckily I was in the West Ham end, so I got to join in with all of that. Good fun. It went behind, for anyone who didn't see it or hasn't caught up with the results somehow yet, West Ham went behind twice. Managed to... no, I haven't even started yet. I haven't even started to rub it in yet. They went behind twice. And they came back. And then that beautiful man, Arthur Masuaku, with the most pinpoint of shots I've ever seen into Mendy's near post. Who, you know, I'm definitely part of the keepers union, but I must say, should have done better. I'd probably say for all three goals. First one, obviously, crazy decision to tackle someone facing away from goal, and not really get close to the ball either, and concede a penalty like he did. And obviously the third goal being so far out, and at his near post, quite embarrassing to cap it off. And that second one, I know it went through the player's legs first, so it slightly blindsided him, but it was relatively close to him. It was relatively close to his body, and he still didn't get down to it. Might as well have been an extra goalpost. You're absolutely right. I've known a few of those types of keepers in my day, and on this occasion, Mendy was one of them. I'm sure he'll bounce back, though. I'm sure next time it's Liverpool versus Chelsea, he will have the game of his life, because that's just what keepers do when they play us. Game of their lives. Real Madrid have taken the lead against Inter Milan, so nothing interesting going on there. I was hoping for an upset, but it's not to be. So I think that means Real Madrid are through, or I can't remember, because Sky Sports don't show the on the app. They don't show the groups of the Champions League, the tables. So I can't actually remember how well Sheriff Tarassopol, or however you say the name, are doing. Mo Salah has the ball in the edge of the box, passes it back to Nico Williams, who does get a cross in. It probably should have been a corner. Is it a corner? Yes, it is. Tomori knocks it out, trying to defend against Origi, and we do get the corner from that. But no, I went on a tangent about the West Ham Chelsea game. Liverpool Wolves, on the other hand, I'll get into that fully in a sec. I just want to see the result of this corner, as we do have one of the better records, at least in the Premier League, from set pieces. Oxlade-Chamberlain delivers it in, and it's headed way over by Ibrahima Konate. Liverpool Wolves showed... I sound like I'm about to start an essay. Wolves Liverpool showed what a fickle place social media can be. Because I have a very consistent number of Liverpool fans channels that I follow. So I pick up on patterns from game to game, result to result. And I really must say, if we get an early goal, get a goal in the first half, we could then go on and just win it 1-0. Or we could concede and win it 2-1. And everyone says, brilliant game, world class. Virgil van Dijk, best in the world. Thiago, fantastic. Everybody, brilliant performance. Jota, fantastic. Didn't score, but wondrous. If we don't score until 90+4 with the Divock Origi wonder, Jota's had the worst game of his life. These players have been terrible. They don't want it. We can never win a league like this. And I watched the majority of that game later. And I really, really couldn't see what all the fuss was about. The only thing that we didn't have in that game was cutting edge. But that happens. That's just part of football. We created plenty of excellent chances, restricted Wolves to not as many chances, no more than we've given to other teams. But because we didn't score, and it got to the 80th, 85th, 90th minute, and there was nothing. Jota was crap, had the worst game ever. Thiago suddenly wasn't quite as good as everyone made him out to be before. The defence weren't up to scratch, you know. And these were the same people who the week before and in the Merseyside derby were hyping them up at unbelievable levels. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I just think the fickleness is quite astounding. Like how the very same people, and that gets thrown around a lot, like the same people who say blah, when not really. But I only ever see one or the other from the same people. I never see. There's never a mixture. There's never a game where some people are like, "Oh, so and so has played brilliantly," and someone else is like, "No, I don't think so." It's if we're winning comfortably or we're a goal ahead. Oh, magnifique, mwah, chef's kiss. Versus we haven't got that goal yet, or we're losing 1-0. The game's getting on and nothing's happened, or they feel like the chances are drying up a bit. Oh, so and so was crap. And it's the exact same people doing that every single time. And I just really don't get it. I don't get how you have that negativity in your life, that level of fickleness and complete lack of self-awareness. I'm not trying to make out this is just a Liverpool thing either. I imagine this happens in every single fan base. I won't say social media because I sound like an old man, but Twitter fan bases, that's what it's like. You know, they give people who don't go to games, me, because I don't live there, who don't go to games often, give them a bad name. You know, because the people who go to the games every week, they're supporting the team within reason, no matter what. You know, if we start losing 5-6-0, then obviously you start to ask questions, give the odd boo here and there. And it goes up for another Liverpool corner. But on the whole, you don't. In the stadium, they are 100,000% behind the team. Whereas Twitter, it can turn toxic very, very quickly. And again, I understand when I talk about social media and Twitter and say how toxic it is, I sound just as bad as all these people on Talk Sport going on about it and how bad fan channels are, etc., etc. Believe me when I say I'm not trying to be like that. It's just there is a clear pattern that does need to be spoken about, not by those people who don't understand social media, but by people like us, people who are younger, people who grew up with it, people who understand it, people who see it every single day, and they appreciate the positives of online communities. So they're not just looking at it through the lens of, oh, social media is crap. Everyone just wants their team to do badly so they can get more views, etc., etc. That's not what this is about. It's about more than that. As our old not logo, our old motto for a couple of years was, "This means more. This means more." And after all that, it's still 0-0. Milan 0, Liverpool 0. Final group game of the Champions League. Meanwhile, Real Madrid are 1-0 up. I'll check the other scores shortly. The main one that we're interested in will be Porto versus Atletico. There's been no updates on it. Anthony, thoughts on the match so far? Do you know what? I can't lie. Nothing's happened, really. Stop and start. You know, Mane's down now. He'll be trying to protect himself as well as Salah. They won't be looking to... I might be wrong about that because they are, you know, serial winners, serial goal scorers. They'll want to get on the score sheet tonight, but really they shouldn't be looking to overexert themselves too much. And that's why I've only predicted a 2-1, which is already looking unlikely. So short answer, it's going fine. AC Milan haven't taken control. Zlatan hasn't had much to do. But neither have we. A couple of corners, tame effort from Nico Williams, I believe, straight at the keeper. Not much to sing home about at this point. Smeekers tries to chase down a ball, but it does go out. Oh, it's for a Liverpool corner. So we'll have another chance. We'll have a chance to get a goal here. You know, regardless, we want to win. Real Madrid just cleared one. Cleared a dangerous-looking ball from Inter Milan. Here we go. Is this Simicast taking this? Can't see. But thanks for that. Thanks for the question, Anthony. Canate tries an audacious half volley, but it is blocked away. Comes down to Minamino, who controls it well. I really want to see him do well today. But it's a tough. Whenever he comes in, there's always other changes. You know, he's playing with a youth prospect and a guy who's played 20 games in the last 2-3 years. They are countering here. It's Canate. It's Ibrahimovic inside the box, and he does get a corner out of Canate. Ibra in his pocket. Do you know what? I cannot lie to you. I got into a bit of a tangent. Got into a little bit of a tangent about social media fan bases. I haven't necessarily seen too much of what's happening with Ibrahimovic. You can enlighten me a bit. Oh, here's 1-0 to AC Milan. You could almost see it coming. Tomorrow, that man Tomori, agent Tomori, makes it 1-0 from the corner. It's pretty poor. It's pretty poor from Liverpool. It's the second, third, fourth ball. Just nobody there. Alisson makes a save, but can't do anything with it apart from play it straight back out into the 6-yard box where Tomori's there. Yeah, no one's there to react. Comes in between. The rebound goes in between Canate and Phillips. There's Mane in there as well. Mane reacts really slowly. He's already looking to try and spin and get out of the box. Tomori with a centre-back with striker-like instincts there, hangs around. And that is bad defending. It's bad defending, but it's not Nat Phillips' fault. And even if it was, I don't blame him. One, because I love that man and I want the best for him. But two, he hasn't played. He hasn't played. Any of the times that he did get in, he's another Oxlade-Chamberlain. He needs a few games to get in there. He's been thrown in and expected to do the job, help us make history, as it were. But so did the corner come from attacking mistake? I wasn't looking at the so much for a watch along. I wasn't even looking at the bloody screen when that happened, and they didn't show it in the replays either. But it sounds like it was tacky error there. He's another one. Nat Phillips. I missed the ball near post. Whoopsie daisy. Still applies. Nat Phillips, Minamino, Tyler Morton, Oxlade-Chamberlain. I can't hold it against them when they come into the team and have a bad game. They're not elite level footballers like a Thiago who can have 6 weeks out, play a couple of games fantastically, get injured, come back 5 weeks later, play to the exact same standard again. These guys need consistent game time within the strongest 11, not to be constantly swapped out and then played in second string sides. Because let's face it, although it's quote unquote stronger, this is still a second string side. It's Salah and Mane. That's it. They're the only players really who start week in, week out for us. So, you get what you put out, really. Mane does have control of the ball. Falls to Divock Origi, who's whizzing his way around, has a shot, and it is saved by the keeper straight at him. But another shot on target, and as we all know, stats win games. So a few more of those, and the old XG up. It's a nice strike for where he was. There's not much he can do with it from that angle. So this goal. So as it stands, that means Atletico finish bottom. That means Atletico Madrid don't even get Europa League football this year. So it's still 0-0 in their game, I believe. I'll have a look in a second. That means Porto would go to Europa. Milan would come through with us. And Atletico would go home for good. It's hard to expect too much of a reaction from a team like this. Because we've steamrolled the league, the Champions League group, but ultimately most of those games, apart from the Porto one, were hard fought, and we had to not even necessarily going behind, but we had to come back and summon that monster mentality a few times, and that was with our strongest teams. So to ask to do it again in a game that ultimately doesn't affect us, with multiple starting 11 players rested, it is difficult to see. Oxlade-Chamberlain has his customary outside of the box shot. He does luckily go for a corner on this occasion. Every single game he does it, and someone needs to tell him to stop. We get it. You scored some beauties against Man City and a couple in the Champions League against other teams as well. But you don't have to do it every game when there's other passes on. Corner comes out, falls to Salah, who's just chasing it back. Plays it back to Nico Williams and receives it again. He's looking to play a long diagonal to Nat Phillips by the looks of it. Divock Origi manages to win the second ball. Doesn't get a free kick when he probably should have done. Now AC Milan will have another chance to counter, and luckily Konate's there to block a pass that would have put Milan in 1-on-1 with the keeper by the looks of it. And now Mane has a chance to get it in, but it's a poor delivery. And AC Milan come away with it once again. Tyler Morton now picks it up, plays it into Oxlade-Chamberlain and Minamino. Out wide to Nico Williams, who takes his first touch infield, and Tyler Morton has it in the centre. Back out to the right. They're playing with a little bit more purpose now, a little bit more speed. Oxlade-Chamberlain manages to get past one. We'll go for another long shot. Salah equalises. Is that on? Yes, it is. Mo Salah is inevitable. 1-1. I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know ball. I don't know ball. It'd be tough for us to react to going 1-0 down with a team like this. But Oxlade-Chamberlain with a real bit of skill. I must give it to them. Kris will be going nuts watching that. And it's a shame he couldn't get his own goal out of that. He gets around the Milan midfield with ease. It's a good save from the keeper, but he plays it out into danger. And Mo Salah is able to fire it into the roof of the net home to make it 1-1. And Klopp is a happy boy on the sideline. So he wants to win. Of course he does. Of course he does. But everyone likes to have the narrative that any chance to take a game easy, he will do. Such as, the Carabao Cup fiasco in the Premier League winning season. So it's a potentially interesting game now. Both teams sort of look more up for it. It's a little bit quicker. Nico Williams fires a diagonal into Mane, but Milan do get it clear. And it's now back with the goalkeeper. Let me know if the volume's all right. I haven't asked, actually. Someone said I was a bit quiet in the last stream, which I didn't realise at the time, but I can easily adjust it if I'm now too loud. The Real Madrid game, if anyone who's still interested, is still 1-0. Not much else happening there. Cool, sounds good. Let's have a quick look before the final moments of the first half. Have a quick look at the other results today. The other scores currently still ongoing. Earlier, it was Paris Saint-Germain 4, Club Brugge 1, and RB Leipzig got a result against Man City, winning 2-1. Kyle Walker getting sent off in the 82nd minute. Ajax have given away their lead. Nuno Santos getting one back for Sporting, so it's 1-1 there. Borussia Dortmund have taken the lead through Donyell Malen against Besiktas. Mane's in. Oh, just wide is the side netting. Yes, Borussia Dortmund 1, Besiktas 0. The other game in this group, Porto Atletico, is still 0-0. Milan Liverpool 1-1, as we know. Real Madrid leading still against Inter Milan. And between Shakhtar Donetsk and Sheriff Tiraspol, it is still 0-0. And that brings you up to date on this Gillette Soccer Saturday. Speaking of commentary, Jeff Stelling's final season, rest in peace. Watching him sometimes knackers me out. Divock Origi picks up... Oh, that's got to be a foul. It's a foul about 15 yards inside the Milan half. So we'll have a free kick there. Hopefully, it might take it quick, but hopefully we can get it into the box. Wouldn't be a bad shout to go for the lead before half time. All I was saying, yeah, Jeff Stelling's final season. Watching him, I mean, he's brilliant. Obviously, national treasure. Probably will get knighted at some point, I imagine. But when he's trying to catch up with the results before going to a break, Christ, you lose your breath just listening to him. How he, because he doesn't just say the results; he gives an update on like each goal, the goal scorer, how many it is for them for the season, where they are in the league. And he does that for like 10 games in about 30 seconds before going to a break. Quite incredible. And I'm just struggling to commentate on one game. Nico Williams could get a ball into the box, but it is blocked and carried away by Milan. Oxlade-Chamberlain manages to block on an attempted clearance, and Salah picks it up, but he's lost it. Konate looks like he's been playing well from what I've seen. He's read the game quite well and come out as a bit of a stopper to cut out Milan counters before they really get going, and made a few vital interceptions as well. So a good game for him so far. Salah's picked the ball up from somewhat of a mistake from the Milan back line. They are back to cover it though, so there's not too much of a counter attack on. Divock Origi fighting for it, and there's a foul for AC Milan. 5 minutes to go here. If you are watching on the LFC Transfer Room on Twitter, please do join us. Come across to YouTube, get involved in the comments, ask your questions, give us your thoughts, and also throw us a subscribe to keep up on all of the reliable Liverpool transfer news, as well as other watch-alongs like this, and pre- and post-match reviews, and supreme tactical analysis of any upcoming opponents that we have. If you are watching, do get in touch in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling about today's game so far. Who stood out to you? Who's disappointed you so far in these opening 41 minutes? And what your predictions are. And that man, Tyler Morton, how's he been doing today? I mean, to be fair to all these players, all we've done is conceded from a set piece. So, Konate man of the match so far. Yeah, we're doing man of the half. Konate gets it for me. Even in these last 15 minutes or so. Although he's one-on-one against Ibrahimovic, but Ibrahimovic gives it away cheaply. So yeah, if we're doing player of the half, I'd happily give it to Konate at the moment. As I was saying, even in these last 15 minutes or so, a number of vital blocks, some coming forward to stop counter-attacks before they get off the ground, and another one where he manages to intercept a through ball before it was potentially a dangerous-looking one-on-one scenario. So no, he's looked good so far. A lot of people have gone in on him quite unnecessarily recently. I'm not sure why. I mean, obviously he's not going to be fully up to scratch. Coming into a new league. Got to stay hydrated. Oh, I hope that swallow wasn't too loud. I hope you didn't hear it. Hear it too clearly on this microphone. It's the final 2 minutes. Whoa, I haven't even changed the scoreline. Shocking. Shocking from me. It's 1-0, in case anyone's joining and wasn't aware of the score. No, it's not. What am I doing? It's 1-1. I'm overrating him. It's 1-1. Milan scored from a bit of a sloppy penalty from us. Taki Minamino, I'm told by my sources, was to blame for that. Poor from everyone in the middle, in the 6-yard box, really. Nat Phillips, Mane especially. Very slow to react to the second ball. But we responded in the right way. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, really nice bit of skill to beat the press inside the Milan half. Got his shot away, and the rebound fell nicely to Salah, who managed to get it into the roof of the net rather than over the top of it. Excuse me. And yeah, it somewhat brought the game to life a little bit. But I think both teams just happy to get into half-time now. No one particularly going for it. As I say that, Milan do fire it forward into... That wasn't Ibrahimovic. But that's out for a goal kick. So I'd imagine that's all the action we'll get so far. There shouldn't be... Actually, there might be a couple of minutes added time for a couple of people who stayed down on the floor earlier in the half. Yeah, 2 minutes. As I said. Oh, Sebastian Haller scores for Ajax first. We get exactly 2 minutes of added time. Unbelievable. So if you're just joining us, let us know your thoughts on the game so far. Currently 1-1. Just coming up to half-time now. I don't think we've been too bad considering the changes. You might have different thoughts, so let me know. Let us all know. And we can all have a little chat about it over half-time. Any other questions or thoughts, feel free to leave those in the comments as well. Madrid close to a second goal there. Oxlade-Chamberlain marching forward with the ball, plays it out wide to Divock Origi, who's taken up position on the inside left. He cuts in, takes a long shot. That's a good 35 yards out. And, won't quite demonstrate his best shooting in the squad in that one. Haller on a mad one. Absolutely. As I was saying, it's quite extraordinary, the rise of Haller since his doomed move to West Ham, getting somewhat of a lifeline, moving to Ajax, and absolutely took it there. Minamino's unlucky there. He wins the ball back, but the ref gives a free kick against him. Something of a high foot, but I don't really agree with those types of ones. But that should absolutely be it. I've said that a couple of times now, but that should be it before half-time. And there we go. There's the half-time whistle. So, Milan 1, Liverpool 1. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your player of the half. Anthony has put forward Konate as his man of the half so far. I'd probably agree with him. Can't think of anyone else who stood out that much. If you do have any other suggestions, get those in. The other scores, so Ajax have retaken the lead. Anthony's added to Sebastian Haller's penalty to put them 2-1 up against Sporting, who did briefly equalise through Nuno Santos. Borussia Dortmund have extended their lead. They now lead Besiktas 2-0. Who've had a player sent off Wellington for Besiktas, so they're down to 10 men, and Marco Reus was able to dispatch the penalty, which I don't think resulted from the red card. Actually, it came a few minutes after, but they are now 2-0 and cruising against 10 men Besiktas. The other game in our group, Porto, Atletico Madrid, still 0-0. I don't know if anyone's been watching that. If either team look like scoring particularly. Real Madrid, as I said, still leads Inter Milan 1-0 going into the break. And Shakhtar have taken the lead against Sheriff. So I'm keen to see the tables, for each group, but I can't seem to find them. Let's have a look. It's not happening. It's not happening. Can't get it. Someone let me know because I'm really keen, because I cannot remember for the life of me where Sheriff are in their group, because they got a couple of shock results, but then I imagine it petered out. So if they're going out, then that's very sad. I've had a positive test at work for COVID by the looks of it, so I'm just dealing with that. So Sheriff the third, thanks, Josh. So they'll still be in the, and that's currently, is it? That's including being a goal down. Well, that means they're in the Europa League, which currently Atletico Madrid won't be in. So Am I back? Tell me if I'm back. I feel like I'm back. Oh my god. That was horrific. I wasn't sure if it was coming back or not. I'll wait for confirmation from someone. What am I doing? Right. To get the scores back up. And okay, right. Someone here. Someone please tell me they're here. Hopefully that's the last interruption we get. And it's a good job of half time. Need to get the game back on as well. Literally, the whole Wi-Fi just completely went. But I did the old faithful turn it back on and off again. It seems to have done the trick. Yes, okay, we're back. Thank Christ. Thank the Lord. I missed you too, Dan. I missed you too. Just unnecessary stresses get me going. Try and get this game back. BT Sport 2. There we go. And we're back. Right. Fingers crossed. That is the one and only technical issue that we have today. Everything's back in order. Let me get these names back up and fixed. And they are playing Liverpool. Fantastic. Subs, not yet. Regardless of what I would do, I wouldn't expect much from Klopp before the 70th minute again, even though it is such a dead rubber game. For me, I'd bring on. It's a good question, actually. I thought it was an easy question, but it's actually a good question because it's still 1-1, but I do want to win this game. Double check who is on the bench. I noticed that we had a lot more people on our bench than Milan. Is that just because they don't have that many players, or so we're not back underway just yet? I will have the clock ready for you on that one. You haven't got much in the way of attacking threat to bring off the bench. Jota and Firmino have been left at home. Naby Keita does make it back to the bench. I suppose Trent would be someone to bring on if you needed to add a bit more pace to the attack. Things moving, some more creative balls in. But Nico Williams has looked fine. He's played well so far today. So it'd be a bit of a shame to cut his night short, especially in a docile game in terms of impact on the season. Be a bit of a demoraliser to take him off of that as well. I'd like to see a few more of the young boys get on, but we shall see. And we are back underway. Get the clock rolling. So 45 minutes to, as Mark Lowen would say, get more goals than the opposition so that we can win the game. Does anyone remember that when he was on When BT Sport first kicked off a few years ago, he was their main co-commentator. Absolutely horrific that was. Steve McManaman, not much better. But Michael Owen was a different level. I'll give him that. So it'll be interesting to see what tactical tweaks we've made, if any, or if it would just been a stern word to pick things up a little bit. We shall see. AC Milan with a decent bit of possession, just playing it around midway through the Liverpool half. A little bit of early pressure for them, but it is intercepted. Nico Williams might get onto it, but Milan do recycle and they charge forward here. They tend to get themselves forward quite easily. Not too much protection from the midfield, but with a midfield of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Minamino, and Morton, protection isn't one of the top things they're going to give you necessarily. So whether that's something that he looks to change midway through the second half to try and get a bit more control, maybe slow things down, although things haven't particularly looked out of hand or stretched on Liverpool's behalf. We shall see. I'll imagine it would be a midfield change, the first substitution. As I said before, I do want to win this game. It's another chance to make history somewhat. Pointless history, really, in the context of things. Minamino has a shot, it's over the bar. Somewhat pointless history to win all 6 of your Champions League group games. First English side to do that, potentially, if we can get another goal. But then if you don't go on and win the competition, then, it's a banterous point to keep on making, to keep bringing up that record. So in that sense, it is a nothing record if you don't go on and win the thing. If you win the Champions League, then suddenly this is a unbelievable record, because then you won't have lost many games in the knockout stages, really, if you've made it to the final and won that. So you could be looking at a completely unbeaten Champions League campaign at least, and maybe even a game of a tournament of all wins. Who knows? It's the beauty of football. Nobody knows. Divock Origi gives the ball away back inside his own half, but manages to win it back, but can only put it out for a Milan throw-in. And whilst the second half just sort of kicks up, gets itself into gear, now might be a good time to have a little chat about the upcoming return of Captain Fantastic, Steven Gerrard, bringing his transformed Aston Villa team with 9 points from the last 12. Milan look like they're in here, and Williams might have given away a penalty here. Or is that Tsimikas? That's Tsimikas. Apologies, Williams fans. The referee brushes it away. He's not interested in the slightest. But from here, from my seat, it looked very reckless from Tsimikas, and that's that could be a penalty. That could very easily be a penalty. Just completely doesn't go for the ball. It's shoulder to shoulder, but then he uses his other arm puts it across to try and push the Milan player off balance. They haven't stopped play. Play's gone on, and Liverpool have gone up to the other end and had a half chance. And I think VAR have checked it now, actually. So, I wouldn't have been too upset with the referee if he had given it there. Very, very unnecessary, very naive from Tsimikas there. Excuse me. Because if the referee had given that, VAR wouldn't have overturned it. I'll keep on belching. I do apologise. That obviously doesn't sound very nice. If that had been a penalty, VAR wouldn't have overturned it. But AC Milan do now have a corner as well, so it's a good little period for them. They're unable so far to get it into the box. It's a nice ball, but that could easily be offside. And Allison claims from the cross on the floor. For any stat nerds, passing accuracy, Liverpool 85% so far, Milan on 77%, but they are the team so far who've been going for it slightly more. More forward balls intercepted by Kanate mainly. Are so far player of the half, player of the match at this point. Again, no one else particularly standing out. Tsimikas' ball is blocked, but it falls for Salah, and it's straight at the goalkeeper. Straight at the keeper. Nico Williams going on one of his lovely dribbles, and he's pushed over there just on the edge of the box. Again, referee's not too interested. He wins it back. This time goes down, and this time gets a free kick on the right side, about 5 yards outside of their penalty area. So that would be somewhat of a tricky cross, I suppose. So it'll all be quite cramped, and not much room to sort of glide the ball in. Maybe put it on the keeper, try and make it awkward for him. We'll see if it's an in-swinger or not. Nico Williams looking very bright so far, as bright as our backup right back can be. Oh, almost a Nat Phillips beauty. Minamino smashes it against... Oh, that's embarrassing. AC Milan keeper just runs into one of our players fully intentionally to go down. And the commentators are rightfully saying, why is that a foul? Because the keepers are so overprotected. Way, way, way too overprotected. And I'll keep on, whenever this topic comes up, I'll keep bringing it back. Sadio Mane's just hit the... Oh, Origi! Inevitable. It's not quite 94th minute. It's the 54th minute for Divock Origi. And it's 2 rebounds for Liverpool. No complaints here. It's another rebound, one from Oxlade-Chamberlain, which Salah finished off in the first half to equalise. And now Mane pressing really well, picks up on a Milan error. The keeper makes a really good one-handed save, actually. But again, can only push it straight back out into the box, right onto Origi's head. And he just powers it back across goal. Top right-hand bins. And that puts us back in control. We're fully in control now. So I think that might put Atletico Madrid back in the Europa League. I'm not 100% sure. If someone could update me on that, because I'm having real trouble navigating the Sky Sports app to find these tables. Oh shit! Oh, that's what you meant. Okay. So Atletico have scored. So they're going through at the moment. Oh, that's a shame. So the other three teams have essentially flipped on their heads at the moment. Porto stay third, but now Atletico Madrid are going home completely empty-handed. Sorry, AC Milan and Atletico will be joining us in the Champions League so far. Salah loops in a ball, but it is controlled out by Milan. But they're under pressure. Mane does really well to win it again here. Will he go for it on his own? Plays it back up to the edge of the box to Minamino. Oxlade-Chamberlain goes for another long shot, and that's another corner for the Redmen. Just starting to turn the screw here a little bit. I must update the scoreboard. I've forgotten again. It's 2-1 to Liverpool, in case you didn't know. Just starting to turn the screw, getting up another gear, asserting control somewhat. Hopefully no heart attacks in this game. Ball comes in. Bit of a poor corner, really. Milan have a chance to break, but Nico Williams is there to mop it up. Plays a ball, and Origi brilliantly controls it, but he just loses it under himself. And Milan are able to come out again. I feel terrible because I literally cannot remember a single Milan player or like where they are on the pitch to guess who's got the ball. So that's poor. That's poor on my behalf, and I do apologise for anyone expecting 5-star commentary. I don't know what BT Sports' obsession with Simeone is. Steve McManaman especially. He is a horrible, horrible manager. And as a footballing person, he's a horrible footballing person as well. Just so dislikable. Literally throwing tantrums on the side of the pitch, encouraging players to play such embarrassing games of falling over at any slight touch. Furiously surrounding the referee, trying to get a play booked or get their second yellow like they were for Mane. And it all comes from him. Because we don't do that anywhere near as much. And that's because of the mentality that Klopp brings and the type of player he brings in as well. But he wouldn't allow players. That's his job. If he's particularly upset about something, that's his job to go to the fourth official and complain about and make a big thing over. But his players, they ignore everything pretty much. Especially compared to the likes of Atletico Madrid. But Steve McManaman just never addresses any of that stuff. It's just, because he's such a passionate dude on the touchline. That's all he talks about. And it's quite frustrating. It's quite frustrating, really. Just coming into the final half an hour, Liverpool are 2-1 up. If you're watching on the Liverpool FC Transfer Room Twitter account, I don't know if they've posted this video on there yet. If you are watching on there or anywhere else for that matter, please do come over to the YouTube channel. Get involved in the comments. Let me know what you think of the game so far, who your player of the match is at this moment, and any general thoughts on Liverpool now or in the future. Please do come and get involved. Also, make sure that you subscribe if you're watching and haven't done already, as we do watch-alongs like this to pretty much every game. Milan with a good chance there. Do watch-alongs to every game, pre and post-match as well. Not for this game because it is so dead rubber, but Certainly for Aston Villa on the weekend, we'll have pre and post match reactions. All of your up-to-date, reliable transfer news involving Liverpool. This is the best place for that, as well as in-depth tactical analysis of Liverpool and any upcoming opponents. Some brilliant videos from Kris, another new member of the team, providing some stellar analysis of he did Everton before the Merseyside derby, and that played out almost exactly how he said it would, to be honest. So, believe him in future. Watch his videos and, maybe he's a good luck charm. Who knows? Just another Liverpool corner here. Apologies. That's whipped in by Oxlade-Chamberlain. Almost falls directly onto Mane's head, I think. But it's headed away and Nico Williams picks it up. Plays a long ball forward out to the right. And Oxlade-Chamberlain picks it up again really well. Manages to get a ball in. It has fallen for Salah on the left-hand side of the box. Into Mane in the centre. Forced out a little bit to Tsimikas, who does bend one in. But it's cleared out once more. Minamino has failed to make too much of an impression so far. We live in hope. I'll never give up on that man. Never ever give up on him. We'll have another corner as Salah draws it from the Milan defence. And Naby Keita. Naby Keita will be the first substitution. Be interesting to see who this is for, actually. Interesting. I'll be sad if it's Taki. And Joe Gomez is coming on as well. Again, will he wouldn't put him at right back. He can't. As long as it's not Taki and Nat, please. Please not Taki and Nat. Here we go. Okay. So it's Mo Salah coming off for Naby Keita. So that's okay. Get him off. Get him rested. That's good. He got his goal, so he'll be happy. And he's not injured. So win all round for us. And so Sadio Mane comes off as well. So it's Mane and Salah both off for Naby Keita and Joe Gomez. So I'd imagine Minamino will go more advanced. He'll go out on one of the wings, and Oxlade-Chamberlain as well further up. So this is turning into a proper Carabao Cup squad now. I like it. Minamino and Divock up top alongside the Ox. And then Tyler Morton. And Keita in the midfield. Just have another quick check of the other fixtures so far. Atletico still lead 1-0 thanks to Antoine Griezmann. Ajax really dominating now. They're 4-1 up against Sporting Lisbon. Neres Campos and Berghaus adding to earlier goals from Haller, converting from the penalty spot, and Dos Santos restoring Ajax's lead after a brief surge from Sporting Lisbon. Dortmund have another against Besiktas. Marco Reus again, this time with a penalty in the 53rd minute. Real Madrid still leading 1-0, and Sheriff are still trailing Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0. Currently, I believe my sources tell me they're still going into the Europa League, so it's not a complete travesty. Ibrahimovic's been very quiet. Nat and Kanate have not given him a bite. That's what I'm saying about Nat Phillips. Form is temporary, but class is permanent. And that's what he has. Allison asking for trouble there. Tried to get clever. Almost did a Mendy. That was almost identical to Mendy. He was then facing away from his goal and held it for a little bit too long, and he had two AC Milan players bearing down on him. The main difference being he didn't give away a penalty, and he did manage to get the ball to one of our own. Good bit of play there, and Kanate gives a corner to AC Milan. So they're having a bit more of a go now. Substitutes probably just disrupted the flow in the system a little bit. Ibrahimovic, just childish, man. He's a 40-year-old man, and he's won a corner, and he just grabs Kanate and chucks down an off-balanced man to the ground. Or pretend that makes him look tough or something. But a good, slightly better spell as he's played up for a Liverpool goal kick. But at present, we are on course to make history, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing to add to the Klopp dynasty. The first, potentially, fingers crossed, the first English team to win, not go undefeated, but win all 6 Champions League group stage games. And really, from this point, there is no excuse for not getting that record. Oh, Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips is incredible. Unbelievable. Facing his goal, prime Maldini, Nathaniel Dini Van Phillips. Facing his goal, surrounded, turns his way out of danger magnificently. Unbelievable. I love that man. Oh, Origi had half a chance to extend our lead, but he points it out, headers it out wide. They need to re-show that. They need to re-show that Nat Phillips. That boy, unbelievable. Give him a run of games. Give him a run of games. Give him an England cap. You know, he's playing in the Champions League for a top 3 side in the English Premier League. What other... And last season, he was an absolute regular. You know, what more do you need to earn your place? And I don't want to hear any sensible arguments about why Phillips shouldn't go. I don't care. I'm a romantic type. Some fireworks going off in the ground there, I think. Oh, Oxlade-Chamberlain's down, and he does look hurt. I'll get him off pretty quickly. But he looks in pain. It's not just a impact injury. He looks like he might have landed awkwardly and not broken anything, but could have just twisted something. And he does look quite hurt there. He's still down. I think that's the end of Oxlade's night. Hopefully not the end of his recent spell in the first 11. Really worrying signs for him. Their chance again for Liverpool to regroup after Milan were looking slightly more dangerous. So midway through the second half, soon to be entering the final 20 minutes, what are everyone's thoughts so far? Is Konate still your player of the match? I think Phillips might be nagging it for me just for that one moment. That one turn has stolen my imagination and just brought back all the fun memories from last year. Truly the best part of last season was the rise of Nat Phillips. Looks like the game might just be becoming a little bit more open as Milan push for the equaliser that they need. And that should hopefully continue to allow us to counter-attack. Someone at work tested positive today, this evening, I think, and they were in the office today. Luckily, I was working from home, but I could have had it over the weekend, so who knows? I'll take a lateral flow test when I get off this stream. Could be a false alarm. They've booked in a PCR that they'll take just to double check because the lateral flow isn't 100% accurate. So fingers crossed it was a false alarm. But if not, could be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, the commentators have just hit the nail on the head. I mean, Milan have got to go for it, really. And Mane and Salah are both off the pitch now. So really that should make it easier and give them more confidence to throw bodies forward. And we're now 16, 17 minutes remaining. They've got to be looking to turn the screw up even more. Yes, they've had a few good spells of possession, but still they haven't really looked much of a threat. Their only goal coming from a set piece, and an error at that set piece, for that matter. It's a shame. I imagine none of the younger players on the bench will get many minutes, if any, especially if it stays 2-1. Klopp will still just want to see this result out. Won't want to throw away this chance to make history so casually. Minamino with a nice little 1-2 there with Keita. Pushes forward. Williams has it out wide. He looks to get a strike away, but it is blocked and put out for a Liverpool throw-in. Oh no, it's a Milan throw-in. Ignore me. How's Simicast been today? I haven't seen too much of him. His crosses haven't been their usual best, I don't think. Especially considering he's had a decent run of games. Williams, on the other hand, has had to be a lot more patient for his minutes. And he's looked quite sharp. And the thing is, if we didn't have a Trent Alexander-Arnold, Nico Williams would be a very good first choice right back. He's a really, really good ball carrier, whereas Trent is more of a playmaker, better with the pass than necessarily with his feet. Alisson has to make a save from a little half chance there from Theo Hernandez. But unfortunately for Nico Williams, we have the best right back in the world at the minute. So it is, again, one of those situations where it's practically impossible for him to really break into the team unless there's a significant injury to Trent, which luckily hasn't looked like happening. He doesn't look like the sort of person who's going to pick up 2 or 3 injuries a season. Another half chance there for AC Milan. Ibrahimovic manages to play a penetrating ball into the Liverpool box, but Alisson's quick off his line to claim it. Commentators just said Nat Phillips is stretching his calves out. I hope that's nothing too concerning, because we'll need him. We'll need him for future games. I wonder if they do look to... There was comments from Klopp about Nat Phillips saying that we needed him for this half a year. And I just wonder whether there'll be a step up in looking to find him another club in January. And I will be gutted to see him go. I'll fully understand it. We can cash in on him, make a little bit of profit. He'll be able to go and start for a team, hopefully. I hope he finds a decent team. But I'll be gutted nonetheless to lose one of the best English centre-backs in the Premier League in Nat Phillips. Sporting Lisbon have got another goal back against Ajax, so it's now 4-2. Probably too late to talk about an actual comeback, but you never know. Haaland has got on the score sheet against Besiktas, so that's now 4-0 to Borussia Dortmund. Real Madrid are 2-0 up now against Inter Milan. Asensio with the second goal. And Shakhtar Donetsk maintain their 1-0 lead over Sheriff Tiraspol. Simicast tries to get a ball in and it's gone out. Gone out on the way in. So another poor cross from Simicast. That sounded a little bit harsh. I haven't seen many good deliveries from him so far today. So again, we're turning our attention to the game on Saturday against Aston Villa. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff again, I believe, which is a shame. I think if Gerrard had got the job a little bit sooner, maybe they could have got that game on the telly. But luckily for everyone in the UK, we, the LFC Transfer Room, will have a live watch-along for that. It'll be the boys who were lucky enough to watch the Wolves game again. We'll be covering the Villa game. So hopefully we can get some more magic. But if you are in the UK and you're unable to watch the game legally, then please do tune in to that. Join in the comments and we can all react to the game together. All we need now to cap this game off, cap off the group stages. There's a nice Minamino goal played in by Tyler Morton or something, or a Nico Williams corner buried by Nat Phillips. Either of those would be nice. Anyone else, it's okay. I'm glad we've managed to avoid any other technical difficulties for anyone who wasn't here. Luckily, it was in half time, but my internet just completely went down. I did the old on-off trick that seemed to get it back for us, and it's been working fine ever since, which is a relief. So, AC Milan have a free kick. I'm not 100 how close it is. So Naby Keita gave it away. Yeah, standard. Naby Keita giving away a free kick. So it will be Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and it is about 25, 30 yards out. 35 maybe. Oh, he's hit the wall. Smashed it against the wall. Not looking like there's going to be any Zlatan magic today. Fingers crossed. There's still 8 minutes to go. So if the commentator's curse is real, then expect an unpleasant surprise shortly. It's a good ball played into the box, and AC Milan are offside anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't think there's any more subs on the horizon just yet. Again, I don't think I'll be looking to bring on any of the youngsters. On the same note, won't particularly want to risk any more first teamers. Oxlade, Chamberlain, and Robertson are both on the bench. There's no real need for either of them to come on either, so you can probably just see it out with the 11 that are on the pitch and not worry about any of them being tired for the next game, because I don't think anyone who's on the pitch now will play, will start at least against Villa. I highly doubt it. Sorry, saying that, Fabinho is on the pitch, but he's come on as a substitute. And Naby Keita gives the ball away when he didn't need to, really. The chance was on there, and he's tried to get it to Nico Williams, but it played a weak ball. And that attack breaks down. Giving Milan a chance to come forward again, though. Kessie is onside. I think Nat Phillips played him on there. Zlatan's gone for his customary overhead kick. It's Bicey, and it's not connected. Gone straight out for a goal kick. We've done well, though, in this game. It's not too early to give my final thoughts. Saying that, oh shit, Kessie's in. Oh, brilliant save. Fantastic save from Alisson. He's making a real habit of that. Almost every game he's being called on to make a world-class save, and he's done it again there. Coming out so quickly. If that was De Gea, he'd have still been on his line when that ball was played in, and would have been much easier for the attacker to score there. But Alisson, so quick off his line, just pounced upon it. And the striker just can't find his way around him. So I will hold back on my analysis. Just for a little bit anyway, whilst Milan have this purple patch at the end of the game. Going just in now to the very last 5 minutes of the match. It is still currently 2-1. Nat Phillips with a big, strong tackle there. And he's given away a free kick, but that looks just like a good honest 50-50. He's got the ball. He's touched the ball, and then the Milan players just run into Phillips and gone down, crying, holding his face, and the referee bought it. So they've now got another dangerous free kick. Probably less likely to shoot from this one, as it's a lot further wide out to the left, or the right side of Alisson's goal, the left side of the box, if you're looking at it. This will be an outswinging ball. Alisson does have a one-man wall set just in case. And that's, again, another wasted opportunity for Milan, really. Just not really ever looking like they're going to score, apart from that chance with Kessie. So that's the first and only time they've gotten through us properly, cleanly, and had a one-on-one with Alisson. And that's always going to happen. Teams are always going to, at one point, break you down. But then that's why you pay the goalkeepers top dollar, the best goalkeepers. You try to keep it away from them as much as possible. But when it inevitably does come through, they're there to stop it. Morton collects the ball after a few changes of possession, plays it back to Alisson, plays it forward to Fabinho, lays off Morton again. It's a poor ball from Gomez, looking a bit cold. Now they've got another chance to counter. Kessie's in again. Brought down by Canate, but it looks like Canate won the ball fairly and squarely. Gomez with a really poor attempted pass. Not quite sure what he saw there. They had the opportunity. They had another opportunity. And Klopp's just calling for people to calm down. And it's not frantic. Just a couple of mistakes here and there. It's the only thing that's giving Milan much of a chance to have a sniff at getting something out of this game. So with 2 minutes left of regular time, we'll just double check the other results. So Atletico Madrid have now gone 2-0 up. There's been 3 red cards in that game. Wendell and Marchesin for Porto have been sent off within 4 minutes of each other. Carrasco for Atletico Madrid sent off 4 minutes before that. So Porto were playing against 10 men, 1-0 down. And then something must have been pretty major has happened, and they're now down to 9 men and 2-0 down, with Correa adding a 90th minute goal to wrap up the points for Atletico and wrap up last 16 qualification. And that means, unless there's a swinging goal difference, which I don't think there is, Porto are in the Europa League. And Milan will be going out, unless I'm mistaken. The comeback hasn't been completed by Lisbon. They're 4-2 to Ajax. Borussia Dortmund 5-0 up as well. Yeah, so Porto will go through to the Europa League unless there's a very sudden swing in either of these games, and AC Milan will be going home. They'll be out of Europe in December, which is a shame. The once great club, 2 Champions League finals within 3 seasons was this fixture. And that was only 15 or so years ago. And both teams have had opposite trajectories. We've only really risen since then, especially now in the last 5 years. Milan looking slightly better nowadays, but compared to those levels have really fallen off. There'll be a couple of youngsters coming on here for Liverpool. with just 3 minutes of added time. More of a technicality than anything. They get to say it was their first ever appearance for the club, which is always a nice thing. And that is if the ball goes out before then, who knows? A Liverpool player is down, but we're on the counter. Naby Keita is running with Oxlade-Chamberlain to one side of him. He does play it to him. Oxlade-Chamberlain skies it over the bar. That's poor. And he's still on the pitch. Oxlade-Chamberlain is still on the pitch, and he did get clipped by the keeper there. And I just wonder if that's upset the previous injury that he looked to have. Just hope Liverpool aren't picking up a few niggly injuries here. There's a couple other players down, apparently. I'm not 100% sure who they are. So it looks like Nat Phillips might be one of them. I think it's his head. So Nat Phillips headbutted Zlatan. Standard Nat Phillips headbutt. He'll be back in the with the head bandage. He looks fine. He'll carry on. So Max Waltman gets to say he's played a Champions League game for Liverpool here. Minamino comes off with a rather another tame performance. Just a shame. Just a real shame. There is a player in there. But as the days and games pass, it just looks less and less likely that we'll be the team to find that player. Connor Bradley comes on. That's his second appearance. But he's first in the Champions League, obviously. So a lovely day for both of them. Living all our dreams. Playing for Liverpool in Champions League. And there's another chance here for Liverpool to seal the deal. Oxlade-Chamberlain powering forward. He's just lost control of it a little bit. And we'll get a free kick out of it. Oh, but it's gone to AC Milan. It's gone to AC Milan for a handball because Oxlade-Chamberlain was thrown to the ground and his arm touched the ball. And that will be it. We are in the 93rd plus minute now. So I'm not quite sure what the referee's waiting for here. For Milan to get another clear-cut opportunity, I guess. But that's got to be it. They're not even looking to really throw anything forwards here. But here we go. They're inside the box, go for a shot. It's blocked by Gomez. They've got their hands up for something, but half, really, not much effort. Now we're now in the 4th minute of added time, still no whistle. They recycle possession again. They might have one more chance to get it in. The referee's still not even looking at his watch. Not quite sure what's going on here. He can give them as much time as they like, but they just don't look like they're going to score here. And there is now a free kick to Liverpool. So that should be that. Gomez take the throw, and that's it. So Milan 1, Liverpool 2. Liverpool make history. Clip it up. Liverpool are history makers. So the first team to win all 6, or the first English team to win all 6 Champions League group stage games. The group of death, it was labelled. And it's been one of the easiest Champions League group stage campaigns that we've had, especially under Jurgen Klopp. The AC Milan fans and players rightfully gutted. They'll have no European football for the rest of this season. Some of them are rightfully upset, but in truth, they never particularly looked like they were going to score or get a result out of this game after their opening goal. Liverpool, with a professional performance, managed to bag the final win that we needed, and now we can look forward to the return of Steven Gerrard to Anfield. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for joining me again. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Anthony. It's been good having you all here. If you are watching now and you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe to the LFC Transfer Room on YouTube. Make sure to give this video a like as well. And we will be here the rest of the week with some build-up to Aston Villa, some tactical analysis of how Gerrard will set up. A few other transfer-related videos as well. And then on Saturday, we'll have the pre-match reaction to the lineups. We'll have another watch-along for anyone who can't watch the game live or legally. And it finished crazy in the Atletico Porto game, 3-1. So 3 red cards and 4 goals. Not a bad game in the end. We'll have the watch along and the post-match reaction. So that's been everything for this game. Liverpool make history into the Champions League last 16. Few appearances for the youngsters. Tyler Mawson impresses again. Man of the match, probably Konate. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.